we're not alone, most importantly, that there are people that have spoken today, that have spoken around the world and gathered folks together who've shared their wisdom and their willingness to courageously stand up for life.
The Greater Reset is a movement of people that recognize there's problems in the world. They recognize there's a small group known as the World Economic Forum that are trying to push this Great Reset, which is all about surveillance, centralization, control.
The Greater Reset is really about the people, all the information that's being shared and all the actual action that's being taken from the inspiration that's given and that's received.
Well, I think Greater is being sincere and returning to basics we know about love, health, fair communication, respect for nature and each other. Those are basics of life, have been around, always will be around.
The Greater Reset is, like I said, a group of like-minded friends and colleagues that have come together, and we're really kind of developing a parallel society, something that can stand on its own.
Ooh, the Greater Reset is a group of beautiful, amazing light beings that's in this physical reality that have like-minded interests in sharing and building and co-creating and manifesting the life that we were born to live.
Because this is our moment. I truly believe this is why we're alive, that this is why we are here. And I know that we are here for a purpose. I know that this is our time to make that change.
The meaning of the word manifestation and the importance of the word manifestation is that we have the ability to create our own future, and so that is inherent in each of us once you realize that you have that power. And so I think bringing focus to that is very beneficial to the people that might not have known that they had that within them.
It's one thing to know that if life in its sacredness and its beauty is going to continue, it's one thing to know that there has to be a change. The other half of that, to make that whole, is that you have to begin to actually make that change in that parallel society as we're talking now, and that's the manifestation. Once you become awake, once you get past your anger, you've got to move past your fear, and you have to move past your paralyzation. What do I do? What you should do is in your heart. You're here for a reason.
And for the fifth event, we're focused on manifestation. For us, that means not just coming here, hanging out for a few days and having a good time and going home, but realistically coming together, talking about these ideas and putting them in our life, and then being able to come back maybe a year from now and say, hey, what have you done? You know, are you growing your own food? Are you homeschooling your kids, or you getting off big tech like Google, actually applying the solutions? So it's been beautiful to see from the very beginning. In 2021, we had 80 people show up, and then 100 people show up, and then it's been hundreds and hundreds, and 10,000 people plus online watching. More than 27 countries have tuned in. We've had dozens of countries here in person, and it's just a big honor to be a part of this and to try to provide this space for people who I think are desperately in need of community.
You know, we can complain about the government and so on all day long, and we have been, because there's lots to complain about. But once you get over that stage, it's time to do something. It's also called activation, this thing, right? So it's activating people to do something about it, to to build better and newer things.
Well, manifestation is extremely important because a lot of people have a hard time taking action with their ideas. And now time for talk is over. We have to manifest the changes in our own lives. We have to become healthier. We have to go out and build alternate communities and alternate structures so that we can live free, healthy, and independent lives.
But what I do want to talk about today briefly is the fact that our bodies are made to heal. There is nothing that we can achieve without the right mindset, energy, good science, and manifestation.
We can start to redirect, create healing places to teach people about this stuff. And you don't have to wait around for the politicians or the lobbyists. Stop watching the advertiser on TV. Turn around, walk away. And that's the manifestation that Derek has been talking about.
I really like the idea that it supports a new paradigm of sovereignty. What does that even mean? A lot of times, we delegate our ability to touch the divine because we don't feel like we know. So we trust a priest, we trust who fill in the blank for them to give us the truth, and then we just follow it. With breathwork, you're able to, so the way I explain this, when you rely on somebody else, it's like, do you remember dial-up internet? That's kind of what that is. Once you're able to connect with yourself in breathwork, it's like fiber optic. Instant, continuous connection. And it's extremely powerful.
Sovereignty is the ability to have control over yourself without having an external force being applied against you with government.
One of the ways that I just like to explain sovereignty, because a lot of people don't, that word confuses them. A lot of people can't spell it. A lot of people don't know how to say it. It's kind of a weird word. Being sovereign means I'm free, or like sovereignty means I'm free. So the words are very connected. So we're all, again, unlearning these words and definitions that have been placed on us and trying to find what the real one is. And that being a sovereign being just means that I have all of the skills, the knowledge, the time, whatever. I can take care of myself. And we have to help people kind of understand that and get there, and also then understand what freedom means so that they know what it means to be free, because those things are connected.
Freedom is me sitting right here because I chose to be here, because I had the time and the opportunity to come here, to make a conscious choice on what I will do moving forward.
Sovereignty, yeah, that's again, just you being able to be a free agent and live your life without restrictions. And like I mentioned earlier, they are now attempting to put so many restrictions on our lives. The ability to own your property now, they want to put laws that they can take away your property, or your home, your car, the sovereignty, the freedom of transport.
And so somewhat voluntarism is a little bit of the rebranding of peaceful anarchy. And anarchy doesn't mean no rules, it means no rulers. But the rulers don't want you to know that there's an option on the menu called no rulers. So they used control of this monopoly media system to change the meaning of the word no rulers to mean chaos and dystopia.
And at freedom, like the word has a different connotation a little bit. I think being from the US, it's taken me a little bit of time to think more about that word and try to unpack it personally, because a lot of times it's connected to more like politically, like the right wing and like people waving American flags and saying freedom. And I don't associate freedom with a country, or like that there's no freedom there. I understand what they're saying and how that's part of like the the history, their messaging of how they want us to think about like the United States and stuff. But there's a lot of people right now that are associating freedom with like their nationalism of where they're from. So I'm kind of still in the process of like accepting that word a little bit more myself, just because of where I come from. Like you say freedom and I picture like an American flag in my head right away, and that's not that's not what it is.
So voluntarism is really just another term for anarchy, but it really needs to be made clear that anarchy does not mean no rules. It simply means no rulers. Coercion and violence are what make up the power that the government has, and voluntarism strictly lacks coercion or threat of violence and rejects the state in favor of voluntary participation in society, naturally implying that all government is slavery.
Because it is.
Voluntarist principal beliefs stem from the idea of natural rights, of equality, non-coercion, and non-aggression. Therefore, understanding natural law, the golden rule, and voluntarism are essential for manifesting our freedom.
When we tap into our roots, when we start recognizing who we are, where we come from, then we're able to come into other communities. I heard in one of the workshops somebody was asking, if you're coming to Mexico, get in touch with the indigenous communities before you start building, because you want to know how to work with the land, you want to work respectfully. And when you know who you are, it's so much easier to work respectfully, because you're not here to extract from anybody. You're here to say, how can I be of service? Because I am of service to my ancestors, and you're of service to your ancestors, and I can respect your ways even if they're not my ways, because I am grounded in my sovereignty. I am grounded in knowing who I am, where I come from, what my beliefs are, and I can play in your beliefs as well, and I can explore and try them on for size, and I don't have to be afraid that if I step out of my belief system, I'm going to lose myself. And that's really the intention of that re-indigenization, is to ground into who you truly are, to ground into your true, authentic sovereignty.
We each are unique, and we have our gift to bring, but our gift does not reach its fullness unless we recognize our interdependence on each other, and that our uniqueness is uplifted and expanded by someone else's uniqueness. And so we need to honor the uniqueness of the individual, but the power of interdependence. Being able to be an expression of the divine, and that is a recognition that we're all one. So my expression has to be aware of its impact on all those others that are a part of my existence. We can't have freedom by ourselves, not true freedom, because we're humans, we're connected.
Your healing journey is the roadmap of your manifestation journey. And your manifestation journey is the one where you realize a goal of cultivating a life of freedom. When we heal, when we make room, when we make the time, when we make the effort to heal, to take care of that, we literally make room within ourselves, within our reality, however you want to name it. Our energy, our focus, everything shifts to be able, and now we have tools and a new perspective, newfound wisdom to focus on our goal, on what we're trying to create for ourselves, for our communities, for everything.
So the power of sharing, the reason I share is I would rather a world where I walk down and I don't see injury, I don't see depression, I don't see confusion, I see empowerment, I see people dreaming again and creating and being inventive and innovative. That's why I do it. It's sort of a selfish reason, really. I want for me to have a good life. I cannot have a good life if everybody else is getting placed under mind control and brainwashing to the point where they're stuck chasing their tail. It's like they're rearranging the furniture on the deck of the Titanic, which is what the mind control and brainwashing are doing to people today. They just don't know how to, they're programmed to stay the same. And that's why I share, because I want everybody to have an equal opportunity to become the best they can be.
People are very afraid, and my reaction was always to act in a sort of aggressive manner, and that's not the answer. You know, the answer is to understand that people are still in a fear mind state, and they can't control their emotions, and they can't control the way that they lash out to people whenever they're just being inundated with propaganda all the time. So be gentle, plant seeds, let them figure it out on themselves, because they will come around. It'll happen. There's too much going on. There's too many signs. You know, I really truly believe that we're going to turn a lot of people away from the clutch of the system that has sort of controlled us up until now.
I dream of community, like-minded community, building together in a sharing way. Where I live, it's hard to stay in a happy mood and do those things. So I dream of being able to spend a lot of my time in a place that has potential for being free enough to do the natural good things.
Well, the importance of sharing is huge in a lot of different ways. Like it's when you're gathering together at a thing like this with people, just whatever they want to share is a great way for us to just get to know each other and build connections and to feel comfortable with each other. And even though a lot of people here are working on things closely with people in community, there's still people who are coming to stuff like this that have been really hurt over the last few years and are missing that. So just the ability to share anything, whether it's a work or a project or anything, just sharing is like huge. That's an important human thing for us to do to each other, and to get to know each other, and to motivate each other, encourage each other, whatever it might be. But sharing like the work that's being done is great for a ton of reasons too, because it can give us opportunities to plug in with each other. If you see a project that you want to work on, or you want to replicate where you are, or maybe it's not applicable to you, but you hear about something that you want to share with someone else because you know other people that could be reached by that. The only way that we'll learn about all the stuff that we're doing is to share it with each other, so we have to.
You're not going to tell me this shit isn't popping off. All this love here, and all this energy, and all this information in this shared community, and just like all the insights, and it's like we're here to network and build community and share information. All that shit exists. You listen to the negative entertainment worthless stations, and they will tell you the world is going to hell in a basket. No. That's where the perception is really important, because we are what we see. And I see love, and I see joy, and I see light, and I see community, and I see inspiration. Oh my God. And I just want to continue sharing that vision so that other people can wake up and see that same shit too. And then the vibration will continue to change and share and grow and just expand. And then it's that wonderful world that we have manifested, that we've thought about, that we can actually feel because our vision has changed.
Our collective dream, what we dream of, is a place where everyone has access to the tools that they need to live a healthy life, that they're not being forced to do anything, that there isn't something like a mandate on them, that there's a free sharing of information, for them to be able to take care of themselves, their families, their communities, and the earth, their environment as well. It's a big, lofty dream, and I think it's really good to have dreams like that, that to some people and sometimes might seem too big to get there, but it's really important to try to get there. And coming somewhere like this is really encouraging for me when we have a dream like that, that some people might get in your ear sometimes and tell you it's too big of a dream, it's not going to happen, or whatever. To see people doing it, that it's possible to get there, and that every year there's new people that come that are just kind of waking up to this possibility, and they're living that way too, and you see your dream kind of like unfolding before your eyes.
I dream of a future without government, where everybody is free to create their own future, where societies are harmonious and prosperous, where people have an abundance of what they need, and nobody is using violence on peaceful people to either, steal money from them or to force their version of morality on society. I think you see thousands and thousands of flowers flourishing if they weren't being stamped down by the government.
I really think we've created something special, and our goal is just to keep nurturing it and cultivating it so that it can grow and grow and bring more people into it, and we can just keep inspiring each other and working together to build a better world.
One day I dream of the Greater Reset being a 24/7 live stream. And as the sun moves around the planet, so does the light that we shine from each person around the globe, or each group around the globe. I dream of the Greater Reset taking part in every slice of the globe, and for us to see what's going on at the local level, so again we can learn from each other. And so we can trust that the world is moving in the direction that we want it to be, in alignment with nature, in alignment with humanity. And so my dream for the Greater Reset next year is for everyone to come down to Mexico, for it to be the biggest event ever, and for us to learn about all the different powerful people that are manifesting their dreams around the world. And I think it will be that. I think it's already doing that. So we're seeing it play out really, really quickly.
I believe the dream that's in every heart of human and even beings that we may not see in this 3D world. I dream of joy, of expanding who I am as this earth being. I know there's so much more that as humans we are capable of, and if we gather together in community, recognizing that each one of us are gifted, no matter what that gift is, even the person who's born with what we call disabilities, that disability carries a gift within that person. So I dream of a place where, as we gather in our small communities, we connect with the earth, we connect deeply with that spirit that's in us, and we create the evolution of humanity.
Is that at this moment in time, we are spinning at 1,000 miles an hour around the earth, trying to hold on. And if that isn't incredible, we're hurling through space at 67,000 miles an hour. All of us together.
But we will not allow indifference to take the place of our mercy. We will not distract ourselves by whatever new controversy is handed to us.
This is a solutions event. This is what's happening.